I know. You're thinking it. I'm thinking it. We're all thinking it. This season of Love is Blind, season 9, is just really weird, right? It's weird. It's weird. Like, I don't hate anybody, but I don't love anybody. It's like I'm watching a ship, and from the jump, I know there's holes in it, and it's just only a matter of time until it sinks to the bottom of the ocean, and I'm just slowly watching that occur. That is how it feels watching this season of Love is Blind, and I know I'm not alone. Last season was boring. I think the season before was just awful because the people on it were awful. I just don't know. I think it's like a weird mix of awful and boring. I don't feel like there's any love, right? We have the blind part potentially. We don't have the love. By now, everyone is just going on this show to get famous or whatever. I don't even think there's anybody who should be getting famous off of this. Like, everything is a snooze fest. I'm gonna dive right in to what we can learn about the couples on their weird honeymoon group date in Baja. So this covers up to episode 6. The next episodes come out on Wednesday. So this is our little recap. The pods are usually a snooze fest, but I felt like this year in particular, just absolutely so boring that they had to show multiple people getting ghosted just to have some element of suspense or mystery or drama. I feel like the honeymoon portion is when the couples really start to get to know each other. This is when expectations become reality, and usually the weakest couples find out that they're the weakest couples. This is when things start to fracture, there starts to be cracks in the surface, shall we say. But before we dive into Baja, I do want to cover Patrick and Kacie, which just everything about their relationship, however short and superficial, it made me so uncomfortable. Started feeling uncomfortable when she forced him to tell her his ethnicity, and then she handled it like such a jerk. Then like 1 second later, she's having full on like phone sex with him to the point that I had to turn down the volume and just go with the subtitles because there was just something, it wasn't hot. It wasn't good. It's more of like the secondhand embarrassment I feel for them. It was so freaking awkward. And of course, the whole time, Patrick is like, oh yeah, cool, yeah, right on, for sure, yeah, yeah, so yeah, that's really great, yeah. Anyway, it's clear she wasn't attracted to him, didn't see herself ever being able to be attracted to him. Rather than just say that or allude to it, she also had to like go in and out of throwing herself at him, like full on just humping him in the hotel lobby. And then of course he's still dumb enough to be like, oh yeah, grab my IG, like we'll connect on Instagram. Now let's talk about Joe and Madison. So this is a big yikes. This is a big yikes. I had a feeling from the reveal that he wasn't very attracted to her. While I think Madison is gorgeous, Joe says he normally goes for thinner bodied women, but that he's into her and his attraction is growing, and obviously he's getting free sex, so he's down. Just in general, people should not go on this show, I think, if there are physical deal breakers. Obviously, they pick attractive people for the show. People on the show are conventionally attractive, with the exception of maybe a couple. I've never been like ugly. They want attractive single people. Now, with that being said, there is a spectrum of attractiveness, of body types, of ethnicities, of features. We don't want just everyone being some stereotypical version of one type of beautiful. So if you have a very strong type where you're going to be physically unattracted to other types of people based on the type, based on things like ethnicity, body weight, height, things like that, then you probably shouldn't go on this show. Now, that being said, we all can't help who we're attracted to. You might be staring in the face of someone who's very conventionally attractive and just not feel it. That's how I feel about Chris Hemsworth. It's okay. It happens. Right away, I think Madison obviously feels the distance and is compensating, and it's kind of tragic and sad and also embarrassing to see. So I don't want to judge her too bad because I'm sure you're so discombobulated at that point that you just need to know if what is happening is real or not, and you probably want that truth so you can get to the bottom of things quicker and avoid future embarrassment or heartbreak. So I get it. Like I said, she's filling that gap being like, do you think I'm hot? Are you attracted to me? I always say I love you first. And right away, it's giving Chelsea, and Jimmy. Another thing we have to talk about is Joe's behavior at the couples meetup. So he gets absolutely wasted. I think it's a little more than wasted. I think he's on something. I don't know if he's on some sort of prescribed or unprescribed medication, if he scored something on the beach, snorted, nibbled, licked something that caused him to act this way. Now, it could just be a result of 10 shots of tequila and no food in the hot sun. He seems more into the dudes than into her. It starts with just kind of like being annoying and weird and giggly. It ends with him being like a little bit incoherent and not there. So she offers to go back with him to help him take a nap. He says he wants to be alone. He kind of starts to have this like drunken, like kind of anger, leave me alone. Madison really continues to push. Not only does she go back and he's waking up from this nap, but he's still coming down from whatever he's on. I think he's still very much on what he's on. And I don't know if Madison has just never seen anyone that messed up and it scares her. But coming in there with the cameras, hounding him, like asking a bunch of questions. At some point he calls her woman. He's like, okay, woman. She's like, okay, and hurt and upset, which is understandable, but like, go, if you're uncomfortable, 100%, go get another hotel room. I give them a probability of working out, a 0 out of 10. Next, we have Ali and Anton, and I feel like this is the one couple I actually want to know more about. Like, I don't know if they've just had a bad edit or if they are so boring and like there's no substance to show. Maybe they're just such boring people and their conversations are so boring. The main point of contention that I see between the two is that she might be more high maintenance and a bit more materialistic and he might be cheap, which like, bro, what do you expect? Look at her. She's a total babe. That doesn't come free. And they seem into each other. They seem respectful in front of the group. No red flags. He seems to care for her. She seems to care for him. Whatever differences that they have in values and lifestyle are really going to show in the second part. So I give them a probability 6.5 out of 10 that they will work out. I don't think Joe and Madison will make it to the wedding. I could see them making it to the wedding and then him saying no or something because she's materialistic. All right, so next is Annie and Nick. Now these would probably be just like that boring, vanilla, fading into the background type of characters, but I believe they both bonded over how much they would hate to have a gay child. So that makes them visible for all the wrong reasons. Other than that, they seem to be doing fine. They seem to be equally into each other, and overall they feel lucky that they ended up with each other. They seem to click on how blessed and lucky that they have someone who could shame their future gay child for, I don't know. I mean, what the fuck? Some of that came out of his mouth. Nick has always been really creepy to me the entire time. Kind of the way he looks, like the eyes, the way he talks. There's just always been something off. I've always gotten extremely weird vibes from him. Like there might be skin in his fridge. I don't know. Annie also seems really plain and vanilla. I really can't get a good read on them. The strongest couple, and I love that for them / not. I really hated when he's like, hey, Megan, I love your Cartier. Next time you need a new Cartier dealer, come for me. Why are the watch people always weird? I give them a 7 out of 10 that they'll work out, but I'm not gonna enjoy watching it. Next, let's talk about Sparkle Megan, who drives me nuts, and Jordan. He's probably the guy that I like the most on this show. In general, I think he's a well-rounded catch, has some weird moments in this episode. I don't know enough about Anton. I can't really say anything about Anton. I was not expecting them to work out as well as they are. She was super into him after the reveal, I think because he's tall, he's attractive, like he's a catch for her, and I guess she's extremely pleased about how he shows up in bed. Different from what she would normally go for, but pleasantly surprised nonetheless. Something really, really weird happened when they first pulled up to the resort. They see this nice resort and she's like, do you normally stay in a place like this? And he's like, no, never. And she's like, get used to it. I am all for women being the breadwinner, whatever you want to do, but that's just weird. I hate it. That cringed me out. Even if a guy said that to me, I would be like, what? Weird. I mean, I wouldn't complain. I guess you can't complain if someone's like, yeah, this is your life now, luxury hotels. Okay, cool. Not complaining. But this was just a weird moment. I feel like for a woman who says that people judge her based on how much money she makes, you've really managed to make all of this about the money that you make and how wealthy and successful you are. You have made being rich your entire personality. And so has Mike, for that matter. I think they're going to bring her and Mike together as like a sort of temptation against Jordan. At this point, I don't even care what kind of car this woman drives. Things seem to be going really well, but I think Jordan also like snorted or nibbled on whatever Joe was on because he's also acting super weird. I recall someone saying he ate 20 guacamoles, which... okay. And she like kind of pulls him aside to tell him how annoying he is, which is funny because it's true, but I feel like that's normally something you would tell like your spouse or someone you've been with for a while. Like, hey dude, you're being really annoying. Like you're kind of annoying me right now. I can't imagine telling someone I just met that. She strikes me as the person who gets annoyed like this often and tells you every time she's annoyed. So I give them about a 5 out of 10 possibility of working out. Could see them really coming together and this being a growth opportunity for him and her. I just really feel like she's seeing a little too much of this to be symbolism, like from her dad and Jordan's child. Next, let's talk about Kalaybriah and Edmund. So I talked about this in my first video. I feel very uncomfortable when Edmund is on the screen, from like licking the floor to licking toes to eating his boogers to seemingly no ability to control his emotions. I am all for men being vulnerable, but I think this is a lot for any human. Like if this was a woman, a man, you should probably not be in a pod. You should be in a therapist's office. First, when Kalaybriah was talking with him, I almost got the feeling that she was treating him more like a patient or a case. You know, on one hand, she appreciates his softness and his vulnerability, but on the other side, she's asking him, like really prodding him, at what point would you lay hands on a man that is trying to, basically, would you fight for my honor? Would you challenge someone to a duel if he placed thy hand on mine arm in the club? And Edmund's like, no, I would get security involved. For Kalaybriah, like, girl, do you know who you're talking to? I mean, what do you expect? This is not the man that's going to be starting fights on your behalf. And I don't know. I don't think it's good when a man is going to start a fight like at a moment's notice. I don't think that's a good trait. But then the last scene was very disturbing. Very, very disturbing. Kalaybriah has been very understanding of Edmund and his antics and quirks for this entire show. And then she seems to be the only person who does not want to do the hanky-panky on the vacation, which is just a mere hours after meeting each other for the first time. And he feels a little weird because all the other guys have gotten some. And she talks about how sex is meaningful to her and the people who it's not been meaningful with are her like one night stands. And Edmund has a really hard time wrapping his head around it. And he starts like crying and kind of freaking out. That made me uncomfortable. It's okay to be a little disappointed. It's okay to be like, I'm sure it's not comfortable thinking about your partner being with other people in such like a casual setting while they're telling you that it's important to them, but it's her body, it's her choice. That's full stop. Full stop. You are not entitled to it, Edmund. And overall, I've seen some stuff online and people saying that it's kind of like, where is the psych eval for the show? Where is the psych eval? And can we update those standards? And man, that guy can go vertical. That man can jump. I give them a 2 out of 10. What do you guys think of this season? I'm sorry, I come from Denver. I wasn't born there, but I grew up there, so I can't really say I'm like Denver born and raised. After watching this, I don't really want to tell people I'm from Denver anymore. I'd rather tell people from Ohio, which is where I'm actually from. That's actually where I'm born, even though that's not much better. I will see you guys next time. If you're enjoying my foray into reality TV, please like, comment, and subscribe. I only know if these videos work when you tell me that they work. But that being said, make sure you check out my channel. I have tons of content on Dune, on Severance, on Dark. I'm rewatching Westworld on my Patreon. Thank you to all my Waffle Party VIP members, these lovely people coming across the screen who support me, watch everything I do. I appreciate you so much. Thank you to all my other Patreon members. Y'all are awesome supporting this small creator. Watch out for these freaking weirdos that roam the streets of Denver. Bye.